sailboat in the moonlight and June. Wouldn't that be heaven? Oh, heaven just for two. A soft breeze on a June night and June. What a perfect setting for letting dreams come true.
We want to welcome Doug Jackson from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Doug's got a YouTube channel called SV Seeker. And Doug, we want to welcome you to a virtual happy hour.
It's nice to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
So SV Seeker's coming along really well.
She is. I'm really pleased with the progress on her.
Yeah, you've still got a few volunteers working on board?
Oh no, nobody right now. With the virus thing going on.
Yeah. So just you all by yourself?
Yeah, me, Bart.
Yeah.
We were particularly impressed with the wheel and the octopus. I'm sure, or the it is.
Fantastic. Yeah, Michael did a fantastic job on that.
Didn't he?
Imagine that he taught himself how to do that while going through med school.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That was his. He said it was the way he depressurized at the end of the day. He'd work for an hour or so carving wax. So.
How did he even find the time in med school?
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful example that, you know, we need to have breaks from whatever it is that's really important to us to do something else occasionally.
Yeah.
He taught himself how to carve wax, and man, he is good at it, and cast and everything too.
So I think it's probably on the video, but he casts that out of wax and puts it in sand and then pours.
Yeah, he did a. That was a. He's ahead of me on the casting process. He's got the refractory that he uses, or the investment that he uses, is a ceramic shell. So it's just like what the professionals use, even at the foundries here. So you make whatever it is out of wax, and then you dip it into this stuff, and then run some dry sand over it, and do that several times. You build up a layer of investment, or this hard sand. Then you bake it. The wax melts out, and the investment kind of turns to like china, and then you just pour your bronze into that. You're done. It sounds simple, doesn't it? It only takes months.
Well, if any of the viewers haven't seen this, you'll have to go check out that video, because it's really incredible.
Now, we have looked back at some of your earlier videos, and I mean, you built an ROV, you built submarines. I mean, tell us about, you know, how you got into doing these sorts of things.
Oh, well, you know, I've been building stuff my whole life. I guess my dad got me into it, you know, with, well, I got a dune buggy handed down to me from an older brother.
Yeah.
Right? There was a race, and there was an accident, and there was a brick wall involved, and so I rebuilt that. So my dad bought me 3 other Volkswagens, and I pieced it back together. So that was probably the first time I was doing some serious welding, or something that needed to hold together while, you know, after being welded. We did deer blinds and farm equipment and plows and disc, and we put in sewer systems and water lines. And so I've always been, you know, with hands on.
But I just watched the video where you did the ROV. I think it's probably 67 years old now or something now, that video, is it?
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
And like, I mean, certainly I could, you know, work on a dune buggy or work on a sewer system, but I mean, my goodness, man, the stuff you're working with, like, where do you even begin learning that kind of stuff, you know?
YouTube.
YouTube, really?
That's where I learned most of it. YouTube. Oh. YouTube's a fantastic medium for, you know, even like Bart and I were putting in ground screws for anchoring his trailer down yesterday. Yeah. And it took me, you know, 10 minutes of looking on YouTube last night to find somebody that was putting one in that they were using a hydraulic motor to do it, which would have been really nice. But we just built a huge T-bar for the thing, and played like we were on a merry-go-round for 30 minutes and drove a pipe 6 feet down into the ground. So, you know, there's just I don't think there's anything you can not find on YouTube. And it's just been like a fantastic classroom. I think schools are really in trouble for technical stuff, because there's just no reason why you can't go down to Harbor Freight, buy yourself a little welder, watch a couple of YouTube videos, And then the whole trick is learning to turn the damn thing off. Not the welder, but the YouTube.
Yeah.
Get out there and actually start spending some time on the machines, and you know, that's how you get better.
Yeah, and actually get done. Now, a lot of people build stuff, and we
actually get done.
And we've watched a lot of boats being built over the years, and some of them just never ever get in the water. Now, you have some plans to get in the water. You want to let us know what those are?
No.
No. You keep saying 2 years, 2 years, 2
Here's
years.
the deal. You know, people. I don't know if the builders are so fixated on the time when we get into the water as those that are our neighbors and watching us on video maybe and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That fixation for me is not there. You know, what I'm thinking about is some stainless steel pipes I got to weld together for a vent loop, you know, for the heads.
Yeah.
That's my next piece. And after that, there'll be a next piece. And then after that, there'll be another next piece. And so I don't really look at the end of things. You know, if you're building so that you're finished, you're not building in the right mindset. You can't do it like that.
Well,
You got to sail the next mile. You don't think about destination. You think about what needs to happen on the boat in the next mile.
Yeah.
And that's much more important than the end of the journey.
Takes the pressure off too, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, there really shouldn't be any. You know, that's a good thing. I had a countdown clock when I first started. I was stupider, and if that can ever be the case.
Yeah.
And I had a countdown clock on my website, and I don't even remember how many years it was set for. It was probably set for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And this is the year 9. It was, you know, it would tell you how many days to launch, and I that thing bothered me more than anything. You know, it's like, well, I'm behind, you know, and I took that damn thing down. It was the best step in the right direction, because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. If you can't be happy doing what you're doing today, you're not going to be happy when it's done either.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to get your mind in the right place today. And so, you know, thinking about when it's going to be done, it's just immaterial now. It just doesn't matter. I'm happy doing what I'm doing today, and I'll be happy doing what I'm doing tomorrow. And yeah, the boat will get done sometime.
So we'll never know when it's going to be done until the day it is done, I suppose. But
well, you'll know that day, won't you? And I will too.
yeah. And how is it being done? There's another question for you.
Oh, how are we going to launch?
No, I mean, how are you building this? I mean, some of our viewers probably haven't seen you, and they will after this interview. But
well, we call it the boat the internet built, because I'm the internet representation of was it Huck Finn or was it Tom Sawyer? You know, it's Huck Finn.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of started by accident. I had a website up, and I was posting stuff up there because it's really was started off as documentation for what I'm doing. Because I still go back and look at my website, and I still go back and I look at my videos too, because I look at something, it's like, my God, how did we put that together?
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's great to have a video. You can go back and, oh yeah, okay, yeah. And so I was doing a little documentation on the website, and there was a guy that wrote me that said, hey, I'm thinking about building a boat, and I'd like to come and work with you for a week and get a taste of it. I think it was 2 weeks or something, but he came down and he enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it, and you know, I didn't think anything more of it than somebody else asked, and so I said yes, and so I just got in the habit of saying yes. Yeah. And now we have a little apartment on the shop that was kind of a guest room that worked out well. So we will house one person here, and other people have brought their RV up. Like Rick was here recently, and you know, parked his RV out in the street. Our neighbors are all used to it. This is a real construction-oriented neighborhood, so nobody cares about this stuff.
Yeah.
And so it just one thing led to another, and it's been fantastic because I get some real ringers in here every once in a while. You know, I've had chief engineers off oil tankers. I've had engineers that designed the gangway and designed the cradle for hauling the boat to the water when we're ready to go. So, you know, it's fantastic. People that know how to weld, not like me that pretend they know how to weld. You know, it's like having teachers come to you. And then some people come in here and they just give you, you know, like Chris Gassen, he was from Germany. He came over and spent a few weeks, and that kid never touched a welder in his life, you know. But showed him how the MIG welder worked and showed him how to lay a bead. And I think I did a pretty good job on my bead. That kid picked up that welder. He was better than me in like 5 minutes.
Wow.
So it's just, some people have got the knack, with eye-hand coordination, or I don't know what it is. The welding gods are blessing them. But man, he did all the frames in the floor of the engine room. And so, we like sharing these experiences and giving them with other people and see what they can learn. A lot of times it's just what we need. We just need a little push in the right direction.
Have you kept track of how many volunteers have worked on this boat with you?
Sort of, yeah. There's a page on our website. It's under About Us, and it's Meet Our Crew. And you'll see a map of the world with pins in it. And there's hundreds.
Wow.
Hundreds of them. I mean, we're missing some countries still. Well, lots of countries.
Yeah.
We're not big in the Middle East.
Yeah.
What a great opportunity for people to come together and just to work on one project, just for friendship and just for fun. I see a lot of older guys too, which are they're probably retired, some of them, from their trades, right?
Oh yeah.
So nice to get back into it too.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are retired. A lot of them are young kids. I've had college students that, they hit me on their way to and from college.
Yeah.
Like John. The guys from, they're out of college now, so I don't see them anymore. But Eli and Russ from up north. I get my Canadians that drift down in the winter. So.
Yeah, you've had a Canadian just recently working, I think, on it. A Canadian fellow who stuck with you for weeks.
Oh yeah, I've had several Canadians down. I can't think who you might be thinking of, but.
Yeah, you caught our ear there. This is going back about a year and a half ago. There was a shop in Manitoulin Island where you got the jet drive.
Oh yeah. Doug set me up with that. Another Doug.
And Deb's from Manitoulin Island, so
is that right?
I forget the name of the shop where you got it. It was a marina.
Oh, JC's or JJ's or CJ, something like that. Real nice guy.
Yeah.
Took him forever to get the thing boxed up. He was finally convinced I really wanted the thing, but
yeah.
So I have the Volkswagen engine in the tender is from Canada too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I can't remember how we
ferreted that thing across the border, but I don't think it was legal.
Well, we'll cut this part out, Doug.
No, don't do that. I'm happy breaking those laws.
Well, you're kind of beyond the kind of basic aspects of the build, and you're getting more into the cosmetic work now.
Yeah.
Like you seem to be really starting to dress her out for going into the water. So things have changed. You're doing a lot more woodwork and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Starting to put your cabins in.
Yeah, we're working on the floors. I'm working on plumbing now for the heads and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's changed a lot. And that's one of the cool things about building a boat is you're gonna get to put your fingers in everything.
That's right.
My God, I think we're done with the fiberglass. Okay. For you poor people that live on fiberglass boats, I have no desire to help you work on a boat at all.
Well, we don't build them. We just buy them.
Well, okay. But yeah, I see you working on it. And I know there's grinding involved. And where there's grinding involved, there's fiberglass dust involved. And
yeah,
keep it. Okay.
That's right.
I think I'm done to that. So cheers to being done with fiberglass.
Thank goodness.
Wood and steel.
Yeah. Here.
Here, here. Does it bother you that that's leaning out a little bit?
Yes.
So what's sort of the next jump for you? So you've got plumbing going on right now. Where you heading?
Well, let's see. I guess the list, we're done with the paint. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
It's really cool now because now the projects are small. They're not like, oh, you're going to spend the next 3 months sandblasting the hull and painting it. So those big, long things are off the list. We don't have, it's all interior stuff now. So it's going to be, we got to finish out the hydraulic system. We have to fire up the engines. We have to finish up the exhaust, the fuel system. There's always little fittings on all kinds of things that we haven't done yet. Everything's kind of moved up to the right area, then we stop.
Yeah.
Because we need to get something else done. Got to fix the floorboards that you have to wrap around all the pipes coming up through the floor. Still got more pipes that got to come up through the floor, so that has to happen first. Things like vent loops. Every time we put a pipe in, we try and make it a handhold as well.
Yeah.
And then we got the bilge pumps, and they'll have vent pipes or discharge pipes for those. Let's see. And then all the pilot house has to be done. So I'm hoping to get Brian back up from Dallas to help me out with that.
Bit of cabinetry work.
Yeah, it's cabinetry work.
Yeah.
I'm not unknown to cabinetry work. I put myself through college a little bit by working in a cabinet shop. So
What was your background, Doug?
ditch digger.
Really?
Started off as a ditch digger, and I fell in love, and she was going to college. I saw no point in college at all. So I went and asked my dad if he had any money set aside for me. I'm the last of four, right?
Yeah.
Set aside for me to go to college. He stopped laughing after a while and said no.
Yeah.
So, I just put my way through college digging ditches and making cabinets.
Making cabinets.
Did you get the girl in the end, Doug?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
wow.
And now we're happily separated. So here's to that. My thing on that is, Debbie, we live 2 lifetimes now.
Yeah.
And, getting married at, I was 18, 19. I was 19 when I got married.
Yeah.
And we lived a full life together, and I did my very best at it, which was horrible. And so now we're off on our own lives, and she's somewhere in Colorado or Indonesia or someplace like that. So she's doing what she loves to do, and I'm happy for her.
Good.
Mm. Now that little boy I see running around in your video, who's that?
That's Aiden. That's my grandson.
He's really cute.
He is. He was a cool kid. So
Yeah.
we may see more of him later on in life. We'll see.
Yeah. He looks like he's having fun.
He is. And I don't mind putting kids at danger either. So he's not in the videos anymore. His parents have an issue with that, which is their right. They can have an issue with anything they like.
Yeah.
But, I see people raising their children now so restricted from life that, you see them later on as adults, and I can look back and I can say, I know what your childhood was like. You were overly protected.
Oh,
Yeah.
Doug, we had a neighbor who called the police on us once because our girls had one of our big ropes off the boat, and they were throwing it over a tree limb trying to make a swing. And so they were just being creative in the front yard, and the police showed up because one of the neighbors, I mean, they were like 9 and 8. What the heck? They weren't out there to kill themselves or anything. It was,
Yeah, but you didn't have their bike helmets on or the padding underneath them, and it was not adult supervised. Yeah, this whole thing about everything has to be adult supervised now just makes me nuts.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
the last thing they need is a parent standing around looking at them. When I grew up, we had a swamp that was right near the house. And, my parents never ventured into that swamp. There was but we spent hours and hours down in that place, doing what kids do. And, that's what makes you grow up. It just really hurts me to see so many parents not letting their children grow up.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
It is.
Yeah.
Until you come face to face with an alligator gar at night walking through a swamp, and you haven't lived.
It's gonna go above the plates on the walls.
Who designed this boat initially? Like, is there
He's some Canadian.
What's that?
He's some Canadian.
Really?
Yeah, can you believe that? I let a Canadian do that.
That's dangerous.
His name is Jack Carson.
Jack.
And he spends part of his year on an island off Vancouver Island. So it's a small one off the little one, about halfway up near Comox.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the year he spends down in Mexico on a beach down there. He built himself a Brent Swain, is what they're generally referred to as, because of the origami design of the hull.
Yeah.
And Brent's a Canadian too. I asked Brent to do it, and he said nobody ever finishes a boat that big.
Huh?
So I got Jack to do it. He worked with Brent some, and he was familiar with the designs. He had done his own boat. He built his boat in 3 months. Yeah.
How big was that?
It was, I think it's a 36-footer.
Yeah.
He's got an article in, it's called Bella Vita. Bella Vita is the name of the boat, and I think he's got an article you can find in Northwest Passage or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of steel boats up there. There's a lot of origami boats up there because of the debris in the water, logs.
Yeah.
You know, they like being able to bump into them without sinking.
Yeah, I hear you.
So they're a popular design for up there. The twin keels work up there well for the tides. And so I picked up both those things from Jack, and he drew the lines for the hull up. Basically, you know, what you need to know is you need to know where to cut the steel so that when you pull it together and weld it back, that it makes half a boat. And then you just do it again and stick them together, and then you put all the frames in afterwards, and the keel goes on afterwards. So it's like, you know, it's kind of like building it backwards is the way it goes.
Deb's dad was a welder in Manitoulin Island. He built boats too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's quite an art.
You Canadians build a lot of boats.
We do a lot of steel, a lot of aluminum boats actually.
Yeah.
We build here. Yeah, that's for sure. And you know, it used to be that the Canadian fiberglass industry was, you know, prior to the 80s, we built, you know, CNC and like you can name 20 or 30 manufacturers that existed
Right.
in Canada that are all gone now because of the oil prices and what have you.
Yeah, maybe it's time to start building plastic boats again with the oil prices being so low, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that might come back again, eh?
Now, for those of you that are paranoid, is that the right word? This is not an interior use product.
So how are things there with the isolation? Are you folks still under some kind of isolation there?
Well, I mean, I can't sit down at my Mexican restaurant to get my tacos, but other than that, I haven't really noticed. You know, it's really bad some places. I was listening to the news. I don't listen to the news much today, but I caught it a bit today, and there was some place where they were deciding to let children out of the house so they could go outside. Like, man, that's restrictive when you're going to keep kids inside the doors for this thing.
Right.
Like,
you
have to look out the window at an empty park across the street. That's got to be killing them.
Yeah.
Well, people living in apartment buildings, that's got to be really tough.
Yeah, it does. So it was really for us here. It hasn't changed much at all. You know, we had a great bunch of people up to where it was rolling up, and like even Maxime, he's from France, and he had to change flights to get home, but he was hoping to go to. He had a job waiting for him over in Africa, but he didn't get to make it, so he's locked down in France somewhere. But you know, for us that build stuff, I don't think it's really hurt too much. My neighbors have gutted a couple of rooms in their house, and they're rebuilding rooms in their house. And
Yeah, it's been good for the construction material industry, I think, because everyone's at home doing plumbing jobs. And,
yeah, it's cool to go to Home Depot, and there's a lot of people at the store. You know, they have it now stacks, you know, 6 feet apart and so forth. They're counting, you know, how many people are leaving and letting people in at the same rate. So the stores, it's not crowded, but I was really relieved to see that so many people were taking advantage of the opportunity. That, you know, it's tough to do. That you got to scratch together some money from your last paychecks to make it happen, but they're making it happen.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, he's welding at a lot lower setting than what I use, but it allows you more control as you move slower.
So you built more than just the boat too. I got to say, in your shop, you've got some really impressive machinery there that you built from scratch, like a CNC machine and.
My CNC machine, I bought that. We rebuilt it. Lorenzo built the other one, the small one that's in my shop now.
Yeah.
We try and build as much as we possibly can. I think metal casting is probably the most extreme. The propellers that go on Seeker, I don't know what you guys pay for a prop. Do you have one of those feathering props on your boat?
No, we don't. We keep it simple.
Yeah, I like simple too. But you know, those things are expensive, and they're for mine. The blade diameter is like 32 inches or something like that, and they wanted. It's made out of Denmark, and one blade was going to cost me about $2,000.
Oh my goodness!
3 blades, you know. So it's like, well, that's $6,000 for a prop, you know. So we said, you know, started watching some YouTube videos. And there's a guy, you know, in town that his name is Don Doss. He runs a business called Metal Dynamics. He casts impeller blades for the U.S. Navy's nuclear submarine fleet and things like that. But he started off with belt buckles, you know. So So he was a fantastic resource. I just asked him for a little help, and he said, "Oh, you need to do this and this and this, and then do this differently." And sure enough, man, I did that after the first one just absolutely failed. And after that, they started working. So I have 6 propeller blades. I have 2 full sets for that thing. So, so when we can build something that saves us that much money, oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's a feathering prop you build?
What's that?
It's a feathering prop you build?
Yeah, it's a feathering prop because not the prop itself are just solid blades, but the hub that it goes in is made by a company called Hundersted.
Yeah.
I said that right. It says something about where the dogs live. It's an island off Denmark. Yeah. And a great little company, but man, they don't share information very well. So there's 2 drive shafts to the prop. So the outside one, they both spin, but the inside shaft can move in and out as well. And so that actuation is done by a hydraulic cylinder that's also spinning. And as it moves in and out, it changes the pitch of each blade.
Oh, wow.
So we can feather them so we can be more efficient under sail. But the beautiful thing is when we got to trawl a net or something like that, or a bottom trawl, we can pitch them really flat. And even with a small engine, it's like having a trolling motor it's like having a trolling motor with a 32-inch diameter blade.
Yeah.
You can really pull like nothing else. The fishing fleet uses them, because they want to get out to the fishing grounds as fast as they can.
Yeah.
But then they got to trawl those big old heavy nets too. So
right. Yeah. So they need power and speed.
Yeah, they got to switch back and forth.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is too, we can mix it in with sail. So we're junk rig sailed, so it's not your most efficient sail platform for speed. It's your best one for ease of use.
Yeah.
We can pitch that blade so that it ignores whatever the wind is giving us and kick in just a couple extra knots if we need to, by just and still keep the engine RPMs way down and fuel consumption way down.
Why did you choose a junk rig? Ease of use is one thing.
That's it.
That it?
That's it. Ease of use.
Huh.
I can single hand seeker possibly. I don't want to, but I possibly could because it's junk sail. Reefing is lower the sail. Unreefing is raise the sail. There's 3 sails. There's no jibs, no Genoas, no spinnakers, no roller furling.
Yeah.
None of that stuff.
Keep it simple. So
there's not even any stays. So we're an unstayed rig too. So you can walk down the side of the boat and you're not going to get hit in the head by that standing rigging. A little heat on that. Let it dry overnight. And tomorrow we'll work in here.
I wanted to ask you on that, back to that prop thing. Are you going to have some regen on board, or?
We looked at that. There's a couple of problems with that. If you're spinning the prop, you have to disconnect the drive shaft because you can't spin the transmission as well without providing oil for the transmission. So, you got lots of things that provide drag and mechanical pieces, links that I don't want to put in.
Yeah.
My theory on most things, especially since building a submarine, the aluminum one especially, that was a huge lesson in keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
And so I do that now. So I'm not going to regen off the prop. We got lots of we'll put some solar up on the pilot house.
Yeah.
We have a wind generator or 2. And if we want to generate off the prop, we'll think about it down the road as something to add on, but nothing before we get in the water.
You got enough roof on that pilot house. I mean, you could have a 5 kilowatt system there.
Yeah, I can put about 12 400 amp 400 watt panels up there.
Yeah. Well, simple's good.
Simple's always good. Yeah.
Doug, thank you very much for coming and joining us. It's been very informative.
Well, thanks. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
And we really wish you success with your new build. And we're going to put a few links down below for folks to see SV Seeker and to follow along with your work. And we wish you a lot of success, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you inviting me on board, and cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
Here's to warmer weather that's coming, right?
That's right.
Tell Betsy we said hello and we missed her.
I'll do that, Debbie. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
clean up good, Doug.
Thank you.
Talk to me.